Okay, so quickly, we're going to make out of these materials here on the floor and leaning up there, we're going to make an anvil stand using hardly any kind of equipment. We're using an angle grinder, that's about it I think. This is 40 kg of a JCB axle, that's what the guys at the junkyard told me what it probably is. High carbon steel, really hard stuff, and it has the most amazing bounce, and I'll explain all that a little bit later. Why am I going to put it actually upright and why I'm building this. It's kind of versatility reasons. But quickly I want to give a quick mention to iForge Iron. I've been chatting away with the guys there on the forum, and basically they've been giving great advice on how to put this thing together and why to stand it on edge and all that kind of good stuff. And I'll put a link in the description to that post if you're interested in reading that. I'll mention a few things in this video as well. Now, there's a small elephant in the room that I have to kind of a little bit address, because some of you might be wondering. Yes, I'm going to have to decommission my double sledgehammer Anvil, which is such a shame. You know, it got me to this place today. It works for the next, it's going to work for the next 2 years probably, but this thing is just, it has more mass. I'll explain that a bit later. But there's no computer waste. I'm gonna make a DIY. My plan is quickly I'm gonna make a DIY vise from junk, and it's going to be a blacksmith post vise. That's what I'm planning to do. So with a bit of luck, hopefully I might actually put up a video now in the next few weeks about that. Wouldn't it be great if you could just make your own post vise? Because I can't get them here, you know. I can't get those blacksmith vices. I don't want to buy a brand new one either, and it's going to cost a lot of money. So that's it. Have anything else to say? I think I'm pretty much good now to go. Oh yeah, I cut my hair off. I know some of you are going to be wondering what's going on for David. Why did he go from long hair to no hair? Basically, I haven't gone through midlife crisis, don't worry. It's just the last 4 months I've been getting headache after headache because of the heat, and instead of going to a hairdresser like every normal person would do, I didn't have the time anyway, and then I asked Alua, hey, just here's a hair clipper, just go, and within 2 minutes all of it was gone, and literally, like, I feel so much lighter, but nobody recognizes me anymore, which is probably a bad thing. So there we go, you know, back at the center. Let's get started. Amazing, isn't it? I'm definitely going to have to wrap a chain or something around that. Now, putting it on the flat like this is going to be great because of course I can use it. Here I have a nice flat bit. Here I can use it for rounding off things, or even if I have a, what do you call it, like a thinner bit here with a rounded edge, I can actually draw things out way faster than if I was trying to do that with a flat. So nearly twice as fast. You can draw out the metal and make it thinner and move a lot more metal using this. But on the flat, you're only ever going to get, you're not getting so much bounciness. Plus that ringing is probably going to drive me mad. I don't have that actually if I'm turning it on end. And the rebound is really important, not only because the hammer will bounce back and I don't have to hammer as much, like it'll help me kind of define gravity almost, but it's also mainly because as I'm hitting the metal, let's say my thumb is the metal, when I'm hitting the metal, I'm deforming, or I'm moving the top layer, what's on top of the metal, but I'm also moving what's below it, because there's a certain amount of energy that bounces back. A lot of it is absorbed into the metal, but some of it bounces back into the metal and then moves that metal away. Now the more it does that, of course, the more work you're going to get done, and it particularly does that if there's more mass under the point of impact. Now another thing is, like as a beginner myself, of course my first instinct would be to use all of this here, and I could grind a point into this or into this area here. You know, I have more surface area and all that, but that's actually not very important at all. Because the limiting factor is actually the surface area of your hammer. So I can only ever like move the metal in that spot where my hammer hits. So actually I don't actually even have to worry about such a big surface area, because all I'm going to be able to use anyway, in any case ever, is that area here. So either I'm actually moving my hammer around the actual anvil, or I'm moving the piece of hot metal around that area. And it makes me think it's actually probably better to move the hot metal around than the hammer, because the tendency would be to just let it lie flat on the piece, and then of course a lot of the heat will be absorbed into the anvil. And that's basically all there is to this whole thing. Why do I want to put it into a pipe, and why, you know, it's because I want to be able to take it out and put it, say, up here, and have it on the flat in case I want to do a job here, or bend something down, round something off, or I want to be able to turn it around. Because if I can turn that around, I have a very rounded end here. So I could even use this rounded part to, you know, do, like, make, I don't know, like frying pans or something like that. Alright, so it's next day. Basically I made a few changes. I videoed it, but I'm not going to show it to you because nothing is gained by that. It's going to just make the video very long. I can just quickly explain it to you. Basically this is one angle that I had, but I found it wasn't steep enough. So I cut another one on the opposite side, you know, turned upside down, so that basically this then is going to be on the outside. That's going to be the leg, and this is going to be going into the actual, what we're going to call a ring clamp, because that's all it is. It's actually, what it's doing is it's basically clamping down, it's pushing down onto the inside of this leg, so in here, and whilst it's doing that, while I'm hammering down on this, you can see it can actually push it inwards like that. Now this bit here is clamping the actual, so this inside bit here is going to be clamping on the inside then of our post anvil. And because we have three, of course, they're equally doing that, and then we have two opposite forces basically. It clamping in from this side and from that side, and that's how the whole thing makes sense and works. this might be a little bit too high and in the way. I might chop that off yet. But I have 3 hardy holes. How many hardy holes can you possibly need? And this thing is solid. Like, there's no way I can budge that. It's gonna stay there. It might move like a millimeter or so over the course of a couple of hours, back and forth a little bit, and I can always just give it one little tap here, and I'm good to go again. So I'm really happy with this, to be honest. Like, I've got myself this little table thing that I designed, this whole clamping thing. You know, I'm surprised it's actually even working. Now, it wasn't going to work without these things, but you know, just on those by themselves, I don't think that would work as well. So the whole thing, the whole package together, it works. It's, you know, I could travel with it. I'm not going to do that, of course. But the main thing is I can actually take it apart, turn it upside down, like the guys at i4 Giant said. They also helped me get to this place. So again, I'll put the link down in the description if you want to check that out. So yeah, what did you think about it? Do you think it's good? Do you think it could be improved? Any kind of suggestions? It's more than welcome. Yeah, and other than that, this concludes the video. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I shall see you hopefully in the next one too.